Hello and welcome to Commodity Champions. I'm Manisha Gupta. The festive season is here and it is that time of the year when the Indian jewelry market records highest number of sales. Amid all the excitement over this season, Zoya, the diamond boutique from the house of Tata, has launched its new offering Beyond a Boundless Journey. The new collection features emeralds and morganites. To tell you more about this, we have with us Ajoy Chawla, CEO of the jewelry division at Titan. Thank you so much, Ajoy, for joining us. And, Zoya stores, we have seen more and more expansions happen in the last year or so. Last year actually was the one when we saw a lot of pent-up demand coming into the Indian markets as well. But how has the last year been for you, and what are the expansion plans now going forward?
Yeah, Zoya is actually on a roll. We've added, two different stores or three stores in the last couple of years. For a long time, it was only a two stores, or three stores rather, two cities. We were in Bombay in two stores and in Delhi in Southex. And in the recent past, over the last couple of years, we've added Bangalore, we've added Gurgaon. And we are in the process of adding two more stores as we speak. Hopefully we should be adding at least another, besides these two stores, we should be adding a couple of more stores in the next 1 year. And we've also expanded in the form of galleries, Zoya galleries in select Tanishq stores. So we have 6 Zoya galleries between Bombay, Ahmedabad, Chandigarh, Kolkata, Chennai, and those are also doing exceptionally well. So hopefully by the end of next year sometime, we should be having about 8 or 9 stores and about 10 to 15 galleries spread across the top 6-7 towns.
Oh, wow, that sounds interesting because, the next quarter is going to be quite important. I mean, all the cities that you mentioned, whether it's Bombay, Ahmedabad and Chandigarh, are some of the places where we do see a lot of gold and jewelry buying happen as well. But also, Ajoy, talk to us about Zoya versus the other global brands, because the last time I remember I was talking to you, you said now it is about global brands and Zoya is what you're looking to place yourself within.
Well, I think Zoya is in a space of its own. We are an Indian brand with an Indian soul, but with a very international manifestation and appeal. So we would like to believe we are unique. Yes, our customers compare us with some of the big names like Graf and some other Bulgari and some of these other large Western European names. But we follow our own inspiration. We have our own brand positioning, and we have our own heroine's journey as the customer, as the special psychographic profile of a customer whom we are targeting. And in that sense, we are very different. We are also different from them in the sense we are Indian, and therefore we are about inclusive luxury and not about being exclusive luxury. We would like to include people in and welcome them with warmth. And that's also a special signature from Zoya.
Oh, well, absolutely. When you talk about jewelry in India, it mostly is about investment, jewelry buying, weddings, festivals, and then, of course, the investment as well happens in the way of jewelry for most of us Indians. But talk to us about the demand expectation as well. And the last year, as I keep saying, was a huge growth over year-on-year basis. This year, are you still looking at pent-up demand coming in? Because we are looking at almost record weddings happening in 2022 as well. What's your sense on demand expectations in the second half of this year? And also, as we step into the last quarter of this year, it is the festivities that start looking up as well and in turn calculate to more gold buying.
Yeah, in fact, the second half is always better than the first half of the year. And we've started off well in the first half. I think there's a lot of excitement around the festive season. People are waiting to come out and celebrate like never before. I think the last 2 years have been somewhat muted. And we are all excited. In fact, we have launched this new collection, Beyond a Boundless Journey, which is also targeting the festive season. And we have many more product collections also lined up for the rest of the year. So yeah, I think there's a lot of excitement and customers are looking forward to it. We are looking forward to it. I think the overall jewelry industry is looking forward to it.
Well, absolutely. Ajoy, also talk to us about on what kind of demand are you really expecting? Because we do understand that 65% of gold buying happens via jewelry and nearly 50% of that buying is because of the wedding season as well. So how much of a wedding or bridal demand are you looking at or calculating right now?
Well, I don't know about pent-up demand, but I know that weddings were deferred. And there are a lot of weddings lined up, especially in the second half of the year. The first quarter the wedding demand was a little muted. Perhaps people had already bought it in the previous quarter. Although there were weddings, the wedding demand for jewelry was a little muted in the first quarter. But going forward, we are actually expecting a lot of wedding demand, and all our plans across all our brands are targeting very strong wedding season, and we've lined up some very exciting products and collections and campaigns.
We will watch out for that, Ajoy, but I have a question on the gold prices as well, because we have seen them decline below 50,000 rupees per 10 grams. I mean, these are quite lucrative as prices. What would you advise buyers who've been waiting on sidelines? Price sensitivity clearly plays a big role here. What is your advice to them?
See, this is a million-dollar question, whether gold prices are going to come down or go up. I think if we were to just pull back a bit, gold prices and dollar price typically have gone in opposite directions, and the dollar is certainly strengthening and has strengthened a lot. So therefore gold prices have kind of moderated downwards, at least in the dollar terms. But the dollar rupee equation has also changed. But I think for a long time now, gold prices were rising, and now in the last few months we've been seeing them moderating and in fact remaining around this 50,000 or sub 50,000 mark. It's a good time to buy because typically many customers tell us that as we come closer to the festive season, people expect gold prices to go up. We don't know, we don't take a position on it. My belief is, I think gold is something which is evergreen. Even if it does go up and down a little bit, in the long run there is always benefit to be had. So go for it if your heart desires it.
All right, well, absolutely. Actually, you know, when you look at the chart as well in this year itself, if you look at various asset classes, most of them actually have seen a decline. But within that decline as well, the gold decline has been lesser than what we've seen with various other currencies, even commodities or equities for that matter. The global markets clearly have been in a turmoil there. But that's about gold and jewelry buying in the Indian markets. But Zoya also roped in a celebrity designer, Gauri Khan, for the launch of their new collection. She's also here with us right now. Gauri, hi. Thank you so much for joining us and taking time for CNBC TV18. How do you relate to jewelry buying? Do you buy gold and jewelry and diamonds around festivals? What is your really attraction towards the whole segment?
Well, buying jewelry is like a celebration of yourself. It doesn't need an occasion. You are the occasion. Especially when it's something as timeless as Zoya. I'd buy it because the piece appeals to me and it would be a beautiful addition.
All right. So does the size matter to you, or is it the design or the make or the brand? What do you look at when you are buying jewelry?
Well, both, Manisha. I'm launching a new collection for Zoya called Beyond, a boundless journey. Well, the inspiration is from the river Indus, drawing a comparison to the course of a woman's life. One of my favorite pieces is called the Emerald River Song. Well, it's two streams of emeralds that cascade like a waterfall to a fabulous 10-carat emerald flanked by solitaires. The crafting, design and storytelling are all beautiful. So there's both size and design in this collection.
All right. Gauri, you also are known for creating, and your sense on aesthetics, which has been, is mostly what you're known for. What has been your most fun project until now?
Well, currently my most fun project has been the new show I've shot for Radio Mirchi. It's about home makeovers, and I really enjoyed it because again it was just, we had to finish the project within a week's time, and that was what was the really fun part of it.
All right. Well, yes, deadlines do work best for most of us. But you also are coming up with your own chat show now. What's the USP with that?
Well, it's not really a chat show. I would say it's more design based, and it's all about interiors. It's about what I love. It's what I'm passionate about. And it was really something that I really enjoyed. And yeah, it was more like an interior design show.
All right. So it's not just up to creating and designing. You already also are getting into, as you said, on radio and bringing on your own chat show as well. But what's your sense, you know, to women out there, to entrepreneurs? What would your advice be to women who are out there buying jewelry?
Well, fine jewelry is always a good investment, especially when you're buying from a reputed brand like the Tatas. Invest in meaningful pieces that have a story to tell, and choose the versatile ones that can be styled with different outfits and worn often. not pieces that you will just wear once and then, put them away in your locker.
All right, that point is well taken. Well, yes, we do understand as per the latest data that it is a minimalistic designs and everyday jewelry is what women in India are buying. And by the way, that neck piece that you're wearing, Gauri Khan, also is very, very pretty. But on that note, it's time for a break. But don't go anywhere. Vikas Gudgutia of Ferns and Petals joins us on the other side to talk about festivals, gifting and the buying patterns in consumers. Welcome back. You're watching Commodity Champions. And the last quarter of the calendar year has always seen a surge, not just in gold buying, but also in other commodities. Clothes, gadgets, food and gifting have seen an uptick as well. As the festive season arrives, the online gifting segment is set to get a boost after 2 years of the pandemic. Joining me now to discuss this is Vikas Gudgutia, the founder and MD of Ferns and Petals. Vikas, hi, thank you so much for joining us. And what is your sense when you look at the markets right now? The festival season has officially begun and the COVID-free festive season is taking shape. How is F&P faring on consumer behavior, profits, revenues, margins and sales?
We have been restricted to a certain extent in the past because of 2 years of COVID. This year, this seemed to be going to be a very, very amazing year for us.
You're calling it amazing, but if I can push you for a number guidance on your growth and sales that you're estimating this time around, what would that be?
See, if you ask me honestly, I definitely expect to do 25 to 30% more than the pre-COVID level. That's the kind of increase I'm looking at in terms of volume. Otherwise, the season time is normally, it's kind of a double than the normal months. So it is a very, very optimistic target, and we are really looking forward.
Clearly, because COVID taught us the importance of online, but you as one started online, you have online versus and offline as well. What would you say on what model is faring better?
See, we have always been working that way. To us, I don't know, maybe we were lucky that we had both the things. Omni-channel worked very well for us for the good last 15, 18 years. So we were quite used to it. Of course, lockdown here and there, then online picks up if there is a problem anywhere. So it complements each other. So that way, we have been very lucky, and we probably did much better than the other retailers.
Tier 1 cities always have done well, but there is expansion and aspirations that we see in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities as well. How has that market worked out for you?
See, Tier 2 and Tier 3 are the cities where you have aspirants, who want to do what Tier A has done and, living with. So our growth area is definitely targeted towards Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. And we have gone to many such cities in the past, in a couple of years. So if you ask me honestly, we have covered almost, all the major Tier 2 cities, and now Tier 3 has started. So that's where the growth is, I guess.
All right. Because if you look at the last 1 year, the sugar consumption in India clearly has increased. What is the growth that you see in cakes and flowers as well? Because these are the categories that do best for you.
See, normally at Ferns and Petals, if you ask me the breakup, we probably do flower and cake. They go hand in hand, 35%, 35%. Rest, all the other get put together is 1/3. So 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. 1/3 flowers, 1/3 cakes, and rest is 1/3.
In the last couple of years, especially post-COVID, a lot of trend and customer patterns, behaviors have changed. People are making more time for their loved ones. Has that also, come into customer portfolio? Has that changed for you?
See, customer portfolio probably will remain the same, except the Tier 2, Tier 3 targeted marketing and all that. But to us, it's the time to innovate, time to get new gifts, new ideas, new products. So maybe we want to, as a leader, we want to keep serving our clients with innovation and with latest way of gifting. And we are well prepared for the season.
All right. Because world over, a couple of trends or buzzwords that the markets are talking about is hike in interest rates, recession and inflation as well, which we have seen seep through across commodities, across sectors and businesses also. So while we are looking at the festival season here, has inflation in some sense impacted you as well? So whether it has been about production, labor costs, transportation, logistics, etc., how have you worked with all of those?
Definitely, it's a cause of concern. I mean, one does look at the cost, and every single line item is much higher than what it used to be. So we have no option but to increase the price and maybe look at some other cost cuttings which can wait for a while. So we are doing that negotiation bit, but yes, that's something to worry about.
All right. But this year is positive, especially for service providers when you are related to catering and wedding season, etc. This year also is looking at one of the years which has the highest muhurats when it comes to wedding in Indian markets there. And US also, by the way, and Middle East too is what the reports suggest. What is your sense on this wedding season? Are you looking at higher sales? What kind of growth are you working with, especially with the last quarter of this year?
I think wedding season, there's one little thing that in November this year, there aren't many wedding dates. So November is not going to be as good as it used to be. The year will probably end up, seeing the same numbers as we did pre-COVID.
Because another thing that I want to talk to you about is that the market really seems to be opening up. As we are coming back, there are various startups, entrepreneurs, apps that are coming into the market. Does that increase competition for you? Are more players coming in now? What is the total market size like, and what is your share within that?
If you ask me honestly, I guess the market is huge. I think if we add one startup or one new entrant into the market, we have got 10,000 new customers who joined the bank. So I don't see a problem there. The market size and the number of customers and opportunity is endless. And I guess, and it's a tough business, being in a perishable commodity and delivering an hour all across India. So we have seen a lot of people come with a lot of energy, and then in the 6 months' time, we have seen them going back as well. So that's a process which we have been seeing for years. Nothing new to us.
Oh, well, as you pointed out, it's a very perishable business, yes, especially when you're dealing with flowers there. But I want to push you for the numbers on what growth and how many new customers actually have you added over the years?
Normally, we've been growing at the rate of 25-30% year on year. That's a very, very healthy growth. And we did have some difficulty during COVID. Now, since the COVID is behind us, I think 23-24, we should be doing at least 50% more than what we did in 1920.
All right. As you mentioned, as we were discussing, we already are in a festival season here. And as we go ahead, it's going to be Dhanteras, Diwali, Christmas, New Year. I'm assuming the festival season for you also spills over to Valentine's Day going forward in the month of Feb. So what new markets are you getting into? What is the kind of growth that you also are looking at beyond Diwali? And what more are you getting in sense of business segments?
See, confectionery is a very prime focus area for us. And we have set up a huge R&D facility with experts who design and who engineer cakes and other stuff, which is new age, which is appealing to youngsters, which are in demand as per the calories and other parameters. So we are doing a lot of back-end activities, and we are also redesigning our outlets all across the country in the next 3 months. So next year, beginning, I think we will probably be a very, very different, smart-looking, modern-age confectionery company. And that's something which is required, because I see cake is huge in demand everywhere. Birthday means cakes, be it a smallest possible town. So cake and flowers together is a deadly combination. And I think we are working very hard on the cake part now.
Oh, well, absolutely. I'm sure there must be thousands and many more birthdays every day. And as you rightly pointed out, it is synonymous with cakes demand into the country and abroad as well. But, upcoming gifting trends, and how do you see them this festival season? post-COVID, has the behavioral change really seeped in? How do you look at the ticket size spent as well?
Two things. First of all, I think people have started living more in today than thinking about future, So they spend what they earn. They want to live a good life. They don't mind spending on luxury. They don't mind going extra mile to have a good vacation, to enjoy their life. So saving versus spending, I think there has been a shift. And number two, I also see that I'm very surprised that, a lot of luxury segment has seen a huge, increase in demand, which is very difficult to understand. But the only logic is that maybe, they don't want to keep money, safe anywhere, and they want to enjoy life. So luxury is definitely on a high right now.
All right, Vikas, I get that line that it is post-COVID, it has been saving versus spending. Spending is what people really seem to be doing, living in today. And that clearly shows in the kind of trends that we have seen, whether it has been gold, jewelry, vacations, spending, gifting, cakes, plaza, I mean, you name it. And we have seen those numbers actually gain up. But with that, thank you so much for joining us. And with that, it's a wrap on this edition of Commodity Champions. Thank you so much for watching.